Yes, good morning, gentlemen. Today we discuss Lab 4. Lab 4 is operation and maintenance of centrifugal pumps and reciprocating pump. So, the centrifugal pump and the reciprocating pumps are one of the important pumps in oil and gas industry and any industry. Even centrifugal pump is used in domestic household purpose also. If you look at your house, if you are staying in a villa, definitely the Beladia pump is there, and that pump is pumping water to the top of the tank, the overhead tank in your house villa. So that is a small pump. And in CNQ also we are having a lot of centrifugal pumps. And reciprocating pumps are also used in some other purposes, but compared to centrifugal pump, the application is limited. But in industry, oil and gas industry, you can see a lot of centrifugal pumps. And let us today we'll discuss the important parts of the centrifugal pump and how to assemble, and then we'll go to the other lab to see how it is working. So the important parts of a centrifugal pump is this shaft. It's called a shaft. The shaft is the very important. In the shaft, the impeller is coming, and also the bearings are there, and also the bearing housing is there, and the gland packing, everything will be coming and on this shaft. So, and there will be bearing here. There is a key over here to lock the impeller, and also here there is a key for coupling to connect to the motor for as a driver to drive the shaft. And this is called the shaft. Then there is this is called bearing housing. This is the bearing housing, because we are putting the shaft over here. I'll show you how to put this one. This is the bearing housing. Then this is a suction, and this is the discharge. This is the discharge. Suction pipe of a centrifugal pump is, all the pump suction pipe is bigger than discharge. Look at here. This is bigger, and this is the small diameter is small. Why? Because to get more pressure, more discharge head, you need the diameter of the discharge pipe should be less. There are suction, you need less friction. That's why the diameter is small. And this is called the casing, oilwood casing of the pump, oilwood casing. And this is the impeller of the pump. This is the impeller. This impeller. So this impeller, this is the impeller. And the impeller is coming like this. And we'll fix it that. And this is the impeller nut to lock the shaft here. So this will be locked here. After putting it here, we lock it here, so that impeller will not cannot be taken out. That is impeller. And this is the packing, gland packing, gland. This is a gland for packing, put the packing, and these are the packing. And when we put the packing in the stuffing box, we lock it by this gland. And then using a nut and bolt, we lock it. That's why tight it, and so that there won't be any leak. Pumps can have either packing or mechanical seal. This is a small pump, and mechanical seal is not there. Whereas in the industry, if you go to oil and gas industry, you can see majority of the pumps are having mechanical seal. The advantage of mechanical seal is it can run for 1 year, 2 years without any problem. Whereas this one, packing every 1 month, maybe you need to replace, because tear and wear is there, and there will be chance for more leak. There should be small leak, but it cannot be more leak. Mechanical seal, very good for oil and gas pumping, and that's why it is used but it is very expensive. Mechanical seal maintenance also very expensive, but very rarely there is chance for any breakdown. That's about impeller. And then there is a packing. It's a packing. This type of pump is used having packing in the stuffing box. And this is the gasket. One gasket come here, and the other gasket also here, and like that, for preventing any leak. This is gasket. And then there is, this is the cover for the bearing cover here. One cover here, one cover here, so that the bearing will not get any dust going inside, and also make it tight here. So that's why here bearing housing. These are the bearings. These are the bearings. These bearings are ball bearing. But did you notice this one? You might have studied bearing before. This is a sealed one. Sealed. You can see full seal. Both sides are sealed. Why sealed? Some bearings you can see the bolts are here. Also you can see. But this is fully sealed. Why? Because it is it is lubricated, and at the same time no dust or any foreign particles will enter and damage the bearing. So that's why it's called a bearing. And the bearing also we can test by rotating here. See, when it is rotating, if there is no sound, means good bearing. This is all new bearing, so it is ball bearing, and no problem at all. This one. These are the important parts of the centrifugal pump. So this is the shaft, and then this is the impeller, And these are the bearings. And then there is the impeller nut here. And then this is the stuffing box. This is a stuffing box where we put the shaft and then packing here. Put the packing inside here and then lock it here. So the shaft will go inside, and this is the packing. And this is the packing glands. This is the bearing cover, and this is the what do you call? We put the there is a seal for lubricating the packing. You might have studied this type of. So here the water will be coming here, and it will go this way, and so it will lubricating. And this is the volute casing. Volute casing. This is the bearing housing part, and this is the volute casing part. This is the suction line, and this is the discharge line. And inside, this is the impeller comes inside. Okay, these are the important parts. And just I will show you how to assemble this one. We put the one bearing here, one bearing here also. It should go inside. This should go inside, and then we put it inside here. But we need some fixing. It will take more time. But I'm just showing this one. And then this is the part where impeller is coming here. This impeller is coming here, and then this is done by like this, and then this will go inside, and from the other side the shaft go inside, and here the nut is there, so that when it lock, and then if you can connect here with the coupling will be there, and then motor. So when the motor is connected, when it is rotated, automatically the water will be sucked from here, and it is goes in this way. This is the discharge side. What the important thing is for centrifugal pump, you need a priming. Priming is very important, and that's about this centrifugal pump. And these are for tools for removing the bearing here, bearing puller, and these are the spanners for ring spanner, combination spanner. One side is open, and another is a ring. And these are the nut, and the keys are here. These are locking keys, and these are the important parts. So that's about centrifugal pump. So you already got an idea about the important parts of the centrifugal pump, this one. And we'll discuss in the coming, today also we'll discuss about the operation of a centrifugal pump. Thank you. So we discussed now the positive displacement pump. The previous one, the centrifugal pump is a dynamic pump. But here there is this is called a positive displacement. Why? Because positive displacement, each stroke, you can see this is the positive displacement with a plunger, and even reciprocating piston also we can use. But this type of plunger is called plunger pump. Plunger, there are three plungers here. These white ones are plungers. What is different? Plunger is similar to piston. Only difference is piston has got a small length. Plunger is too long. Same, but the purpose is function is same. And here there are three pistons, three plungers. Plunger, the size of the length of the piston or the plunger is more compared to piston. That's the only difference. So this is a positive displacement pump. And the important parts are plungers, and here inside there is, you can see the plunger goes inside, and this is the suction, and this is a discharge. Suction, three suction, because three plunger means three sections. So it is closed here. So this also, and this is connected to the pipes. Here also connected to the pipes. So this is the plunger pump. It's a positive displacement pump. And this is for lubrication, because a lot of there's a crank and the connecting rod is there, and this is the main crankshaft, and then there is here there will be motor, driver will be coming here, and this side you can see the oil level. There's a oil here, the glass is here, so to check the oil level inside the crankcase for lubrication. These are the important. So this is suction, and this is suction, and this is discharge, and these are plungers. Plungers, the length is of the plunger is more compared to piston. That's only difference. That's about plunger pump. It's a positive displacement pump. Thank you. In continuation of the lab 4, this is the reciprocating pump. Reciprocating pump, we already seen there the plunger pump. Plunger pump and reciprocating pump are different. Plunger pump is there's a plunger. Here there is a piston. I told you the difference between plunger and the piston pump is piston is short, whereas plunger is long. That's the only difference. but the action is almost same because reciprocating, and through the reciprocating action, suction, and when the piston or plunger moves up, the water liquid will be pushed up to the other side. That is how it happens. And the important parts are here. This is the suction. This is suction here. Look at the suction line is coming here. The suction valve is here. This suction to the pump here inside, and then this is a discharge side. This is a discharge going to the tank again and come back. This is closed circuit. Suction and discharge, and this is suction valve, discharge valve. And the discharge valve, there is a discharge side, there is a pressure gauge to check the pressure of water pumping to the other side, discharge side. This is a discharge pressure gauge. And this is the pump casing here. This is a pump casing. It's a pump casing, and you can see this is the plunger. The piston is here. This is a piston is here. I'll show you how when it is working. This is the rod, and the piston is inside. So the piston will go up and down. So this is the shaft connected to the piston rod. This is called piston rod, and this is a motor. So to drive the motor, to drive you need electricity, and this is the motor, and the motor and the pump is connected by means of a belt drive here. If you open this is the cover, and inside there is a pulley here, one pulley for the motor and one pulley for the pump, and both the driver pulley and driven pulley are connected by means of V-belt. That V-belt will transfer the motion of the motor to the pump. That's how it is. These are the important parts. The motor pulley, and the pump pulley, and it's a V-belt. And this is the case, this is the cover. This is called a guard. This guard is for machine guard to prevent any accident. If somebody if he put his hand, chance for cutting. And so then this is the pump housing, and this is the connecting rod, and this is the piston inside here, inside pump housing. Suction line, discharge line, and this is discharge pressure gauge. These are the important parts. Now I'll show you how this is working here. This is the switch. There is a switch over there, main switch, and from the main switch there is another switch here, and you need to first remove the locks and tags. Again here, locks and tags are there, you can see in the control panel here. So you need to remove the locks and tags, then after that you can start here. You can see the movement of the piston here. Going up and down very fast, and look at the pressure here going up here. The pumping liquid is pumping here. Pressure gauge. The motor. Small vibration is there still. There is small vibration, otherwise okay. And the specification of the motor is here. During the movement of the piston, during suction time, the liquid will come here, and during the pushing of the piston up that side, the liquid will discharge through the discharge side. That is how it works. That's about reciprocating pump, and it is used in the industry and also in some petroleum, like in garage and petrol stations. This type of pump is used for pumping, and it gives constant pressure. One important thing is, before the starting of the pump, very important, very important is both valves should be in open position. The suction valve and discharge valve should be in open position. Very important. Suction valve and discharge valve must be in open position. Why? If discharge valve is closed and suction valve is opened, what happens is there is possibility each stroke there is liquid is coming, and liquid cannot escape. So there will be explosion. This accident can happen. Bursting. So that's why here there is a safety valve is provided. Safety device is air vessel. This yellow thing at the top is air vessel. That air vessel can prevent the fluctuation to some extent. But before that, you must be very careful that both valves should be in closed position. In centrifugal pump, the important thing is you can discharge valve need not be closed. Suction valve is open, but discharge valve need not be closed. No load. Whereas here, both valves should be closed. That is very important. And here, no priming is required. Whereas in the centrifugal pump, there is priming, very important. Before priming, we need to check the priming, and after priming only, make sure that the casing has got enough water and or vacuum. Then only it will suck water in the case of centrifugal pump. But here, no priming. Only thing is, make sure that both valves are in open position. Thank you. This is a centrifugal pump, but this pump is obtained from Qatar Petroleum. This is the given by Qatar Petroleum. It's a very huge pump. Similar pumps, this type of pump can be seen in the, if you visit any oil industry. There are other pump also which we saw in the previous reciprocating pump also, it is we got from Qatar Petroleum. And this water is coming from the tank, overhead tank, and they coming here and work and then go back to the same tank. So closed circuit, because we cannot, because this is a 6-inch pipe, 6-inch pipe. The pipe is 6. That means the discharge is too heavy, too much large. So you cannot pump to other place and then come back. So it's a closed circuit. The important parts are here. This is the motor. You can say motor. Motor is driving the pump. Motor. This is called the prime mover or the driver. And this is the pump. This is the motor and the pump. And the motor and pump are controlled by means of a coupling here. Shaft is there, motor shaft, and a coupling. This is the coupling guard. Because if somebody, for a safety purpose, this is coupling guard. Otherwise, if by some accident can happen by putting your hand in the coupling because it's rotating. And this is the pump bearing housing here. Inside the bearings are there. So here there will be bearing also, motor also there is bearing. And this is the coupling guard inside. This is a coupling guard and coupling inside. And this coupling is actually a flange coupling. And then there is the bearing housing. And this is the bearing housing of the pump. And this is where we put the lubricating oil or grease, whatever we need to put here from here. And the impeller, this is the oilwood casing. And in the oilwood casing, there is a impeller. That impeller rotates. Okay. And this is suction line. This is suction line. And this is suction valve here. Suction valve. This is the suction line. Impeller. The suction line is always bigger than the discharge pipe. And here this is the impeller, and here there is a packing gland here. Packing gland inside. Packing gland is here, and where packing we put the packing to prevent. This is operated by means of not by means of a mechanical seal. This is by packing, and this is the stuffing box. The packing is put in the stuffing box, and then this is the discharge pipe, and this is the pressure gauge for discharge. This is the pressure gauge for discharge. How much pressure is going this way to the discharge line. This is a discharge valve also here. You can see discharge valve also here. And these are the important parts. And so then alignment of these is very important. If it is not properly alignment, there is vibration and can damage the shaft. Shaft will bend, and also breakdown can happen. Leak also can happen. That's why this is alignment is very important. And this is the electric controls on switches here. And also there is a main switch over there on the control panel, where we need to remove the locks and tags before starting. So we only remove the locks and tags. Now I'll show you, before starting, this very important thing is the suction valve should be opened. Suction valve. Discharge valve need not be opened. If it is closed, nothing will happen because no load. That's why, whereas the other pump, we need to open both. And make sure that this water is inside, very important, make sure. Or vacuum inside the suction line. That is called priming. Priming is the removal of air bubbles from the suction line and from the oilwood casing. Or fill the water, casing with the liquid, either water or liquid, whatever the pumping medium. Now we will start the pump. Look here. So I think you understood this one, how the pump, centrifugal pump is working. So the important parts are, I told you, suction line, discharge line, and there is a motor to drive the pump, and there will be shaft. The shaft is connected to the pump, by means of a coupling, and there will be bearing for the pump and also bearing for the bearing housing for the motor to prevent any vibration and make sure that the shaft is on line and like that. And this is a centrifugal pump with a packing seal. Gland packing is there. And these are the important parts. And when the water is sucked through the suction line, and the suction line always should be bigger than discharge pipe. That's very important. And that's how it is worked here. You can see here there is a these are connections for the suction line. And then you can see the oil here. There is a oil gauges here to check the oil level of the bearing here. This glass will show the level of oil in the bearing here, bearing housing. That's about centrifugal pump. So hope you understood. And this is the details. This is how the centrifugal pump works. And a small type of centrifugal pump is available in your house. You can check in your house, and then Beladia pump is there. Thank you. And that's about the lab 4. Thank you.